Welcome to San Diego Direct. This is the ultimate guide to selling on Amazon. And today we are welcoming James Hyatt. He is San Diego's resident expert on selling on Amazon.
And welcome to the first workshop of 4. Today's workshop will be speaking about the first acronym in the process of ROAR. Again, ROAR is a unique system that I've developed over the past 8 years of selling on Amazon, helping my clients to increase their revenues on Amazon, take advantage of the market, and just optimize their business for the best selling success. And so today we're going to talk about defining your goals and assessing your brand. And this is really the first step in what you want to do, depending on where you're at in your journey. My name is James Hyatt. I'm the CEO of Rankin Bank. We are a 12-person Amazon advertising agency, and we are the best in the industry at what we do. So let's go ahead and get started. So this workshop is for you if you are a brand, a manufacturer, or a private label seller who sells products, physical products on Amazon, and you currently sell products online, maybe not on Amazon, but you want to get started. What you're going to learn today are the benefits of setting a business goal, how to discover opportunities for brand improvement, how to analyze product listings and your account, and 32 ways to improve your brand on Amazon. So let's first talk about some data and statistics. And I want to get you excited about the opportunity and also let you know what's going on in the market. And so in 2020, the revenue from the Amazon marketplace was $386.06 billion. In 2021, that had increased to $469.82 billion. As of 2020, there was 1.5 million active sellers on Amazon and a total of 6.3 million sellers. As of 2021, there's 6.5 million active sellers and 9.5 million Amazon sellers globally, and almost 2,000 new sellers join Amazon every day. So what I think is most exciting about this is Amazon has been around for about 20 years, and I get brands often asking me, is it too late to sell on Amazon? Is it too saturated? And I think that we are still in the beginning phases. Yes, the market is becoming more mature and the companies and marketing agencies are learning more at a faster and faster pace every day. But if you do partner with the right vendors, or you have the internal knowledge and experience, there's still plenty of opportunity. The other thing is that people who are selling on there today may not be selling on there tomorrow. And so there's all different types of things that can happen. Businesses open and close, types of products come in and out of inventory. And so if you're in business for the long haul and you can support launching and growing on Amazon, you should absolutely consider doing that. Because the future of retail is e-commerce. And why is that? Well, number one, unlimited selection. It's convenient and easy to access. And you can offer lower prices because you don't have as high of overhead of leasing a retail store or paying for space on a retail shelf and all the things that go into the costs of doing that. And so my final question here as we proceed is your customer online? Right? And so depending on what you sell, how long you've been selling it, where is that customer, and do you see them moving online? My guess is yes. And if they're not there yet, they probably will be in the future. So we're going to revisit the case study that we did in the original presentation, and that's going to be Seraphic Skincare. Just a little context here. Seraphic Skincare was, or still is today, essentially a one-person brand and company, but it sets a very good example for what is possible on Amazon. And so for this brand, we started working with them. The client's name is Nikki, and she had done product sourcing. She had found a product that she wanted to sell. She had gotten that up on Amazon herself, done some of the creatives using Canva, and wrote the product listing copy and had gotten the product to about $20,000 a month in revenue. When she hired us, the goal was to start building her brand on Amazon. And so one of the things that we did at first was worked with her to establish a brand style guide, the look and the feel of the brand, creating those fonts, enhancing the logos, and then also the positioning of the brand with the colors and the backgrounds. From there, we started to build out her main product listing, and then she was also launching additional products. And so we built those product listing pages as well. Really, her brand grew very quickly, and that's why I have this point going from 0 to 100, because within the first year of working together, we were able to take her business from essentially $250,000 per year to over $1.7 million with the things that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So this information is very important. It's extremely relevant to today's marketplace. And if you can move quickly and act on these things and take advantage, you can also see success and growth in your business. And so we're going to talk about establishing a strong foundation, as well as how to build your Amazon account in order to scale. And this little note that we have down here is just a result of the optimization work that we did on her account, something that's called the Amazon Choice Badge. And when you achieve these badges, it can help to accelerate your sales volume, attract more attention to your product listings, and help you to make more sales. And so we'll review that and more as we continue with this presentation. Well, the first place that we're going to start today is with the benefits of setting a business goal. And don't nod off to sleep just yet. I know that sometimes setting goals and talking about objectives can be a little bit boring, but this is really the foundation and the most important part of everything you're going to do in regards to selling on Amazon. And so let's talk a little bit about where you're at now. Okay. So if you have a pen and paper, you're not going to start writing down yet, but we are going to be talking about your goals. And I want you to be thinking about this with me and engaging with me in this presentation. So the first question I have for you is, how long have you been selling online, right? Did you just recently get started? Have you been on for a year, maybe 3 years? Maybe you've been online for, 10, 15 years. So think about that. Right now, is your full product line available? Typically, when we work with brands, we see that their full product line is not available. They sell, some of their hero SKUs, and we can help them get the other products online. Let me just do one thing here to set this up so that it doesn't keep turning off on me. Go. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's continue here. So which of your products sell best? So if you do sell in retail, which of those products are selling? Do you have those products for sale on Amazon? If you do, that's great. If you don't, why don't you have those up there yet? Is it because of your bandwidth? Do you not have the amount of people that can help you get those things up? And then how optimized is your strategy? So have you gone through the process of looking at all of your images and making sure that they're up to par, and defining your titles and your bullet points, and even thinking about your fulfillment, right? Your shipping. So are you doing merchant fulfilled? Are you doing Amazon FBA fulfilled? And then going down to the details of each and every one of your SKUs and thinking about if those things are optimized at that level. Once we do that, then we want to think about, what's possible for your brand. So do you have any idea about the market share or the market opportunity for the products that you're selling? Maybe thinking about where are you currently positioned at now in your marketplace, and how does that translate to the online environment? Are you excited to be growing sales online? I'm guessing that if you're on this presentation today, then you are excited about doing that and you want to learn about doing that. And that's why we're here. So selling online, there's a couple things we already spoke about a little bit. Being more cost effective can mean that it's more profitable. Your ability to test different marketplaces at a lower amount to get into that industry is possible as well. And you don't know, maybe you hit a particular vein using some influencers or some pay-per-click advertising, and sales really take off on products that maybe were slower moving on the shelves in traditional retail. So with that being said, what do you think is possible? And so if you do have your pen and paper out right now, or maybe you're taking notes on your computer, I'd like you to take just a minute here to go ahead and write down your answers to these questions. I'm going to pause for a moment and give you a minute to write that down, and then we're going to move on to the next slide. Okay, just about 20 more seconds here. So go ahead and make sure to finish up those answers to the questions. All right, and let's proceed. So during this part of the presentation, I want you to think about your business goals. Okay, most of the time when I am talking to a new prospect on the phone, at some point in the initial consultative conversation, I want to get down to what is their goal. And typically I ask them, what are the sales? What is the revenue that you did the year before? And what is the revenue that you're looking to achieve in the future? And I'll give you an example. One of the clients that I recently worked with, they had done a couple $1 million the year before with their product line in their sales on Amazon. And they have a goal of doing $4 to $5 million in the following year. And one of the things that we talked about, the reason that they have not been able to hit that $4 to $5 million goal is because of logistic issues. Also, they did not continue to optimize their product listings, and they weren't running very much PPC advertising. So before we can get into thinking about what do we need to do today and on an ongoing basis to hit those goals, we have to define and clarify that goal. Sometimes the goal may be revenue is important, yes, but maybe your initial goal for the first 12 months is just to build your foundation and establish your brand, and also set up your team to really scale and build your Amazon business. So it doesn't always have to just be a revenue target, right? So think about that as well. Why are you on the call today? What are you trying to accomplish with your products, with your brand? And then once you've clarified that, think about what hitting your goal looks like. So does that mean that you have a certain amount of money in the bank account now, or you're able to hire new staff, or you're able to open up a new headquarter location, right? What does that mean for you if you were to accomplish that goal, right? And why is this important to you, right? And so sometimes if we work with a smaller private label seller, they maybe want to increase their revenue on Amazon because they want to purchase a bigger house in a better location. And they know that if they can get their sales revenue to a certain amount, then that's going to mean a certain amount of profit, which then they can have the money they need to put down on escrow. Other times when we're working with a more established company that's been around for maybe 30 to 40 years, they want to grow on Amazon because they don't want to miss out on sales from their competitors who are optimizing their listings and figuring out their logistics on Amazon. Also, they see that that's the trend, is more of their customers are moving online and searching for them on Amazon. And so their goal is to build out their brand presence to make their product listings look really good, and also make it easier for their customers to find, shop, and purchase their products. So depending on your situation, you're going to have a different goal, and the outcome of that goal is going to have a different importance to you. So I also want you to make sure that you've taken some time to write that down. Even if it's just some initial ideas, you may not have the exact clarity on it, but you're starting to get an idea of what you want to do. And so now, if you're comfortable, I'd like you to write down one of your goals for selling on Amazon this year in the comments section. If you're not comfortable doing that, then you can tell it to a friend, or maybe you're sitting with a colleague watching this presentation. And so share that with them. Okay. And then once you do that, how does that make you feel? Right. And really think about owning that goal and accomplishing it and receiving the benefits of what accomplishing that goal is going to mean for you, for your family, for your staff, and for your business. So again, take a moment, write it down in the comment section if you're comfortable doing that. If not, it's totally fine. Share that with a friend. And let me just check and see if there's anything in the comment section. So not sure how to get back to this. Maybe Karen, you can just pop on here and let me know if there's anything in there.
Yeah, we're nothing yet. The chat should be at the bottom of your screen. If you mouse over it, you might see stuff. That's okay. Anyway.
All right, let's see here. Okay, nothing yet. Well, if you're watching this on the recording, I still would urge you and encourage you to write down your business goal and tell it to somebody. Because when we write it down and then we tell it to somebody, we give it life, right? And we want to bring these things to light. We want to give these things life. And then the rest of this presentation, I promise you, we're going to talk about how to do those things, what to do in your account in order to achieve the goals. And so let's go ahead and move into that section now. So as we proceed and we talk about how we're going to do this, how are we going to get there, right? So this is the next thing that you need to think about is, what is next? What's next for this goal? Does that mean you're opening up your new Amazon account? Maybe you're going to hire somebody to work with them like an agency. Maybe that means you're going to do some internal training with your team or even learn it yourself, right? So who's going to be responsible to help you hit this goal? Is it going to be a team? Is it going to be yourself, an agency? And then what are your short-term and your long-term actions? Okay. And as we get more clear on these things, then this is how we're going to create the path to achieve the goal. And essentially everything I've taken you through so far, this is what we do with our clients. And I think it makes us unique in the space because we're not just transactional, right? We're not in there just to try to make a sale. Rather, we want to help our clients define these goals, get clarity around them, and then educate them on how doing the services and the actions and the tasks that we're going to talk about can help them achieve that, and then they can own that. So I'm really excited. Let's go ahead and get started. Discover opportunities for brand improvement. Your brand's ecosystem. So what we're going to talk about here is just the very beginnings of kind of search and shopping on Amazon. And so the first thing is, how do they find you? So number one, how do people discover your products now, right? If you're a manufacturer and you don't sell directly to the consumer, but you sell through a private labeler or a brand who private labels your products, right? How are those customers ultimately finding your products? Is it in the retail store at GNC? Is it on the shelves at Walmart? Or maybe those private label brands that purchase you only sell online, right? Through Shopify or Amazon or Etsy or one of these other marketplaces, okay? And once they do find you, how do they shop for your brand? Again, with the nutritional supplements, maybe they want to start out with a smaller bottle of supplements or protein powder just to try you out. And then once they realize that they really like the product, they want to come back and they want to buy a bigger version. Are they buying based on the amount of servings? So I want to purchase for 30, 60, or 90 days at a time. Or maybe they just want to purchase in bulk for the entire year, right? So understanding how your consumer finds you and shops for your product is very important. And then how do they discover your products? So maybe you have a longtime customer who's been purchasing the same type of product over and over and over through the years. And as you launch new products, how are you going to expose those new products to that customer? That would be called cross-selling or upselling. So if you're in the traditional brick and mortar, you may need to have a nice little display showing the new product, or maybe you have coupons in the catalog offering a discount on the new product, right? But when we think about the digital space and Amazon, there's many different ways that we can help our customers discover our products. Finally, how do we engage our customer? So making a sale is great, but in this day and age, what's important is to think about the relationship between you and the customer, and also the lifetime value of that customer. So it's one thing to sell someone a product, but it's another thing to sell them a product and then engage them in a relationship. And typically what we see is providing educational information, helpful content, maybe a recipe, or providing workshops or just videos on how to use the product, or even a community around people who are using that type of product or living that type of lifestyle. So as you transition from retail to online, you want to think about this brand ecosystem, how it's changing, and how you can take advantage of it. A successful brand strategy entails being where the customer is going to buy. And so for us, that's Amazon. For a lot of the brands we work with, they have their own website, they have a store on Amazon, they're selling on Walmart.com, they might be on Target.com. And so as they produce marketing materials and run Facebook ads or direct mail campaigns, their customers or potential new customers are going to be exposed to their brand. And then at the end of the day, that customer is going to go where they're most comfortable to make a purchase. And Amazon has done a really good job about creating it a seamless purchasing experience for them, making it very easy for them to do that. Typically, the credit card is already on file. They already have all of their purchase information. And so that's why we can see sometimes with a particular brand, the conversion rate on their online website, like their Shopify or WordPress, may be around 2 to 3%. But for the exact same product, the same copy, all of that on Amazon, it could be anywhere from 10 to 20% conversion rate. That means sending the same amount of traffic, but yielding more sales. And why is that? Well, it's because the consumers trust Amazon, and it's so easy to buy your product on there. They also know that they're going to get 1 to 2 day free shipping. And if they have any problems with the product, that they can go ahead and return that quite easily. Once you understand where they buy, you want to think about establishing your brand authority. And so another area where we see brands struggle is making sure to have their branding be concise amongst these different marketplaces and marketing channels. And so if I am exposed to one of your advertisements through a Google Ads placement, and I see a certain type of branding on the image and copy that's being written on the title or the headline of that, and then I go to Amazon and there's a mismatch between what I saw on the Google ad and the Amazon page, I may be more reluctant as a customer, as a consumer, to make a purchase. The same thing goes for shopping on Amazon. So if I typically buy one of your main products and I'm used to doing that, and then I see you're advertising a new product and I go to that page and there's a mismatch between the brand alignment, then I could also be less likely to make a purchase. And what I mean there as an example is, say you had a certain logo for your brand that you used for years and years, and now recently you've updated that and you want to, that's the one that you're advertising with. And so a new person who never knew about your brand is marketed to with that new brand logo. Then they go to that Amazon page, and that page has been active for the last 10 years and it has all of your old branding and logo on it. Then there could be a confusion there. They may think, well, is this the authentic one? Am I getting the same product that I was advertised to? Right. And so we want to make sure to clean that up and have a synergy and a connective tissue between all of your products and your branding and your copies and whatnot. The final thing here is the shoppability. So what that means, and we'll get more into this, is how easy is it for consumers to shop for your products on Amazon? Are you doing a good job of linking your products together, utilizing the different features and functionalities that are available to you, such as parent-child relationships or cross-selling icons or using the brand store? So let's talk a little bit about these marketing features and functionalities. And so the main one is going to be the product detail page. The product detail page is essentially your sales letter for where that final consumer ends up. It's got all the benefits and the features of your product there and everything that they need in order to make a purchasing decision. It's got your price, it has the reviews, it has the explanation about the product, and it even has a rating based on past consumers and them purchasing the products and their relationship with buying it. Then there's also the brand store. That's where you can shop on using the brand, see all of the different products and kind of dance around there and check that out. And then finally, Amazon Posts. And so I want to bring this to life rather than just simply talking about it. And so let's jump over here and just look at a couple examples of this, and then we'll continue with the presentation. So the first one that we explained is the product detail page. And again, what we're discussing here is the shoppability of your brand, the ability for people to find your product and understand what it is that you're offering. So this is referred to often as the product detail page. You may also see it referenced as PDP, product listing, listing page, right? These are all the same terms for what we're looking at here. And so the product detail page contains firstly the product category and the subcategory. So on Amazon, there's something that's called the Browse Tree Guide. And this is how products are categorized within the system for search. And we'll talk about this more later. Then we have the top 7 images. This is where you can add information and illustrate your product for the consumer to see and understand. And there's also the product video here at the bottom of the 7 images. Then we have your titles and your bullet points. We also have the other important information such as your product reviews, your product price, and then if you have any variations, that's going to be displayed here. As we move down the product detail page, this is actually kind of a fun feature. This is called a virtual bundle. And so I can combine products virtually and make that its own unique product listing that someone can purchase. What's great about this is you don't have to bundle these products together before you ship them into the Amazon warehouse. Instead, you send these products in individually, and then once someone purchases on this listing, Amazon will pick each of those individual products off of the shelf, put them in the same box, and then ship them to your customer. And that's going to save you a lot of time and energy and expense when selling those product bundles. Down here, we have something called frequently bought together. This is where this is an organic placement. Amazon sees that people typically purchase this lotion when they also purchase this mitt. And so they're making that easy for you to go ahead and add to cart if you'd like to do that. Down here, we have the brand story. And this is also a newer feature that allows you to display your entire product line together. And we'll get into the specifics of this a little bit later, but this is a newer module you want to be using to show off your brand. And then we have A+ content, and this is a enhanced description. So typically back in the day, we only had written product copy that was here, just text. And then Amazon started allowing sellers to create these beautiful graphic images and display on the page to help consumers learn more and be more educated about the product and how to use it, what's important about it, and also what makes it unique. Down here, we have the Amazon posts, and this is showing up on the product detail page. This is also a newer feature that's become available. And essentially, these posts are Instagram-like images with also some product sales copy that the consumer can click into and go view on your product feed, and also just get a better idea about your products. And so we can show the products being used, we can show the benefits of using the products, and we can also supply some additional written copy here that consumers can read and engage with. Down here, there's some supplemental videos. These are not all from the brand. Some of these get pulled in from outside of the internet. And then we have questions and answers. So if people have any issues or need to know more information about the product before they make a purchase, they can write that in there. And then finally, down here, we have the customer reviews, which we're all very familiar with if you have done any shopping on Amazon. And so those customers can upload images, they can also upload videos, and then of course they can write product review description down here. They can also just leave a product rating. So you don't have to write anything to leave a rating. You would just select the star rating that you want based on your experience with the product. The next feature that I want to just go over quickly here is going to be the brand store. And again, we're going to go into more detail here, but the brand store is the place that connects all of your products together. The other thing that I like about the brand store is that you won't see any advertisements for your competitors on this page. And so we have some very nice graphics here. We also have some directional information to help them get to the different products that we sell. And then we connect it all together with this very nice branding and icons. Finally, we have the Amazon posts. And again, this is a feed on your brand store, which is very similar to an Instagram feed. You can see we have a picture of the product. We have some sales copy down here explaining what's happening in the image. And then we can connect the product listing to this so that they can click through. We also have what categories, right? So if I click into this category, it's going to take me to this specific category. You can think about a category like a hashtag that you would find on Instagram. And so if I'm a shopper and I'm interested in this particular hashtag or category, I can come to this page and I can review the different brands that are publishing content on this page. It's a great way organically for me to get exposure for my products and my listings. All right, let's continue here. And so we're going to get into the analysis of your product listings and your account. And this is really the fun part. This is going to be the meat of the presentation. Once we establish our goals, we need to find out what is our opportunity. And that's what this entire section is going to really be going into. So typically when we get started with a new prospect, a new client, we want to do an analysis of their account. And the first place that we're going to start that is with the sales dashboard. Then from there, we may look at the SKU metrics. And finally, we're going to look at the SKU analyzer. And so I have pulled up an example over here. So we're going to start over here in the business reports for this account. And we'll just take a look at some information over here quickly. So this is the sales dashboard. And with the sales dashboard, it's going to outline all of the important information regarding your account. And you have this date picker here where you can select different date ranges such as today, week to date, month to date, year to date, or you could create a custom selection based on what you want to look at. One of the features that I really like about the sales dashboard is this table view. The table view is going to allow us to compare our sales and our performance from the prior period. So for this account, we're just going to stick to the daily information, and we can see based on today, where are we at as far as total ordered items? Are we up or down? Where are we at as far as units ordered? Are we up or down? And then we have the total ordered product sales. Are we up or down? And so this can be very useful when getting access to a new account to check on their prior sales history. What have they done well? What kind of sales have they produced? And then how are they currently trending? And we can take a look at a 30-day, 60-day, and a 90-day report to get an understanding of what's happening with their product. There's also several other reports that you can check within your business report settings here. One of the new ones, not technically new, but they recently added this, and it has to do with the SKU performance. And so now you can check your performance of your SKUs and also look at all of your other particular metrics here, such as your conversion rates, your total ordered items, your unit session percentage, right? And so this is really good information to be able to break down on each one of the individual SKUs that you're looking at to get an idea of how they're performing and what's going on. And so we like to think about, the 20-80 rule when selling on Amazon. And so what that means is, what are the top 20% of your products that are producing 80% of your sales? And we want to analyze those products first. And we want to see if there's any areas for improvements that we can make on those product listings or with your PPC advertising, or maybe adding a video, because that's going to drive the most amount of sales. If you have not launched on Amazon yet, we would take a similar approach. So in retail brick and mortar, or maybe when you're selling to your wholesalers, what is the top 20% of products that make the sales? And how quickly can we get those up and on Amazon so that we can start generating traffic, generating sales, building your reviews? The next thing that I would like to take a look at here is the SKU metrics. And we actually just took a quick look at that. We're going to jump over to the SKU analyzer. Now, this is a pretty cool tool here that Amazon also released probably within the last 12 months. This can be accessed through your manage inventory page. And what this is specific data points and metrics for this particular SKU. And so we're looking at the Seraphic Skincare razors here, and this is the 3-pack of razors. And what I really like about this chart is it gives you a very quick comparison of your sales over the past 31 to 60 days and 30 days. And so we can see for this particular item, in the last 31 to 60 days, we had sales of 7,611. And then during the last 30 days, we had sales of 10,370. And so we can quickly get an idea of how our sales are improving or decreasing based on the trend. We also have these line metrics here, and this is going to show us how we're doing as far as overall ordered units per day, and then also the BSR, or something that we call the best seller rating. And that's going to be this green dotted line at the bottom here. That's very important to track when you're looking at the velocity of sales of your product and how you're comparing with your competitors in the marketplace. We also get some more relevant statistics up here: units ordered, average units per order, and average selling price. And then as we scroll down on this page, there's other very good information such as your Amazon fees, your pricing, and then your inventory. I love this page. It's quick, it's easy, it's got all the things that I want. And as we're in the process of analyzing your account, we can utilize this tool to understand the performance trends and how this product has been doing over the last 30 days and the last 31 to 60 days. So we've only looked at an example of this on this one product, and then we very briefly went over the business reports. But as an action item, what you could do today is you could start playing around with these reports. You could download the data, put it into an Excel spreadsheet, and you could use your filters to look at what your top selling products are, what is the unit session percentage, essentially, which converts to, which means that's your conversion rate. How many units did you sell in the last period compared to the prior period? And you can get an idea if your account is steadily trending up and to the right, or if it's going down, or if it's kind of just staying neutral. And then that's going to be the place where we can start to identify which of those products should we really put our time and our energy into optimizing first, before we start to move on to some of the medium selling products and then some of the lower selling products. So based on that, we're going to get into our growth opportunities. And Amazon also has some other really exciting tools and features that can help to kind of guide us into the right direction. And so the 3 that we're going to focus on today, the first one is called recommendations, and I'm going to show that to you. Then we have something that's called the ASIN Growth Optimizer. And then finally, we have the Search Term Optimizer. And so before these tools became available, you really needed to have someone on your team or that you hired who had the experience of working in an Amazon account and knowing how to grow your sales. So you had to work with someone who had that knowledge. Now, Amazon is starting to come out with their own internal tools based on AI or artificial intelligence that can help to identify these areas of growth opportunity for your account. And so let's go ahead and take a quick look at that over here. So we're on the Amazon Seller Central dashboard. And if I just come down to growth, then I'm going to go over to our growth opportunities. Okay, so this is a growth opportunities page. So if you have your own Amazon Seller Central account, you can go ahead and click on those same buttons to navigate to this page. And maybe this is a new page that you've never looked at before. If you don't have access to this page, it's very possible that your user permissions have not been enabled correctly to get you access to this page. So just go ahead and reach out to your administrator and ask them to go ahead and enable your permissions for the growth opportunities application within Amazon Seller Central. Once you gain access to this page, there's going to be a whole list of 50 of the top opportunities that you can take advantage of to optimize your account. Now, this particular account is pretty optimized. It's one that we manage on a monthly basis. However, we still see a few things in here that can be improved. But you want to log in and you want to look at what is Amazon suggesting to you that could be improved for you. And so once you select one of these particular areas for improvement, what's pretty cool is Amazon is actually going to show you the potential opportunity of what is possible if you were to engage and take action on this recommendation that they have. And so for this particular item here, the 2-piece for the mitts, you can see that they're recommending we increase our subscribe and save funding. And by doing so, it's going to produce an additional $64,416 in sales. Amazon provides some information here regarding the daily sessions, the ASIN conversion rate, the category conversion rate, and our inventory, etc. But probably one of the most impactful and important things is going to be this projection on the new revenue that's possible with this tool. And so this tool really does a lot of the work, right? And so you can just select one of these options here, and then Amazon is going to essentially give you all the information that you need in order to make the recommendation. So you can see that they're giving me some info here, and I can click to see what the deal is, why are they making this recommendation, and then I can also see what they're projecting here as far as additional sales. Now, take this with a grain of salt. This is artificial intelligence. It is computer generated. So you still need to think through the recommendations that Amazon is providing to you before you go ahead and just jump in to make those updates. The next one here is called the ASIN Growth Optimizer. Also in the chat, if you wouldn't mind just letting me know if this information is useful and if you're learning something today from the presentation, that would give me a little bit of encouragement that we're headed in the right direction here. All right, continuing with growth opportunities and the ASIN Growth Optimizer. So again, here is another tool that Amazon is implementing to help us identify opportunities for growth in our catalog. And this particular brand, it's pretty small. It does not have very many ASINs. But imagine if you were a big manufacturer and you had hundreds or thousands of ASINs in your catalog. This would be extremely useful, because who has all the time to go through every single one of your ASINs and look? The other thing is, if you're a big manufacturer, listing optimization may not be as important to you because you have so many listings. However, if you can use these tools and identify small improvements that could make a big difference in your revenue, I believe that that would be important to you. And so you can use these tools to automate some of that work and get those things done. And so right here, you can see that Amazon highlights the areas of improvement. For this particular products, they're talking about increasing subscribe and save. And then I can click on these particular ASINs and it's going to show me those recommendations based on what this tool is doing. And so if you're not completely familiar or educated on all the different ways that you can improve sales, this is a great place to start, because you can see they list these action categories. A few of these would be creating A+ content, enrolling in the Vine program, adding a main image. So I actually want to click on this because they're saying right here they want to see a comparison table. Okay, so I do agree with that. So that's something that we can take action on. Amazon makes it very easy that click this button and then you can go ahead and work on that. So that is actually a really cool tool. What's this one? They're talking about fixing a browse node. So let's just see here which this one is. So they're saying that we need to fix a browse node here. So I'll have to take a look deeper into that, but that's actually something newer that I didn't see before. And again, you can just click on these little hyperlinks and they're going to give you all the information that you need in order to make those changes. So that is actually pretty cool. ASIN Growth Optimizer. All right, the final one here that we're going to talk about is the Search Term Optimizer. Can't find it. I'll have to link to it for you guys later. Apologize for that. I think they moved it on me. It used to be in here. But essentially what it is, it's called the Search Term Optimizer. And what it does is it takes a look at your backend search terms, and then it will provide to you the search terms which are not indexing in red, so that you know you should remove those search terms and then replace those with more relevant search terms. It's a very useful tool because we don't always know what is being indexed and what is not being indexed by Amazon, and also what is useful and what is not useful by Amazon. And the tool does a really good job to help us see that. A couple of things here. Let's see. All right, Jay says very useful and helpful information, especially focused on marketing, product pages, general sales tracking, as those are what I'm most focused on. Excellent. Taking notes to pass along to the owner of the business. So the brand goals is we haven't started to list on Amazon yet. Excellent, Jay. Thank you so much for that note. I'll make sure to continue focusing on the marketing and the sales tracking. And then thank you, Karen, for your note here as well. Again, I will provide supplemental information on the Search Term Optimizer. I need to make sure that that's not something that they took away. When I was working on building this presentation just last week, I was able to find that. So I'm not sure what happened to it and where it went. But nevertheless, we need to continue with the presentation, and we're going to keep moving forward here. Okay, so BSR and keywords ranking. So again, we're talking about improving your brand, understanding your brand. So you want to know what your product BSR is. BSR is your best seller rating. And you also want to be tracking your keywords and taking the pulse of your Amazon account on a regular basis. So let's quickly talk about what BSR is. BSR is your best seller rating. And I want to go back to this example here with Seraphic, because they are my examples here. Okay, so we're on this page, and down here below the description, this is called your BSR. Okay, so we see best sellers rank. And essentially that means out of all of the sellers, out of all of the products that are available in this category on Amazon, so beauty and personal care, I can tell you that there's millions of products in beauty and personal care. This product ranks number 89. That means that this is the 89th best selling product in all of the category of beauty and personal care. Then from there, we have something that is called the subcategory. And you can see that this product is actually indexed and listed in 3 subcategories. So we have number 1 in bath loofahs, number 2 in body scrubs and treatments, and number 12 in body skin care products. Now, the reason that the BSR is so important is because it is a live metric of the health and the pulse of your product listing and really your success on Amazon. And everyone is working towards getting as low of a BSR as possible, because that means you are selling more and more product. If you see that BSR starting to trickle upwards, it means that you're losing market share and that your sales are going down. And so as a part of your ongoing strategy, you want to be measuring your BSR and tracking your BSR. There's a few ways that you can do this. Number 1, you can just check on your product detail page, and you can do this on a weekly or monthly cadence. You can also take a look at that SKU analyzer. Do I still have this pulled up? I don't. But the SKU analyzer, I'll just show you another example here. The SKU analyzer is also tracking your BSR. So the BSR is this area that we see in green. You can see on this little pop-up, it says sales rank, 23,881. We can see it improved over here on April 2nd, 21,657. And as of yesterday, it was 21,103. Typically, we see that BSRs can remain pretty steady, and you want to continuously improve that BSR and get it to a lower and lower rate. You can also use things like Helium 10. Okay, and so this tool here is also going to show you the BSR. And so this is an ongoing report, a 30-day report, and you can hover your mouse over and it's going to show you where this product was ranking on a particular day. This can help you get an idea of your overall growth of a product or a trend of your product over time and what's happening. So we can see this one had a big spike here. I know that this product got featured on BuzzFeed during this time period, and so it increased with a lot of sales, and then slowly trickled down as we went back to more organic here. Okay, and so that's your BSR, and that's something that you're going to want to track. Now, when you first launch your product, Jay, you're going to have no BSR because you don't have any sales. Once you make your first sale, it's probably going to be in the millions, if not the very high 100,000s, 800,000, 900,000. But as you start to get more sales consistently, then you're going to see that BSR drop. And then really what you kind of want to find is that sweet spot. So how much do I have to spend on ads? How many sales do I need to make per day in order to retain my certain BSR? From there, you want to track your keywords. And so again, there's many tools that you can use to track your keywords. One of those that we use is called Helium 10. This is a pretty cool product. This is a third-party product. This is not associated to Amazon. This is a private company that built this software that allows you to track your keywords. And so if I just try to find this one here, this is our FaceMint product example, and we've been tracking these keywords for quite some time. And maybe we can take a look at these here. So what you do with your keyword tracking is you want to enter your keywords into the tool, and then the tool is going to look at where you're ranking for that keyword on a daily basis, and then it's going to plot that data point on this graph here. And so for a lot of these, we're already ranked number one, and we built that up over time. If we're starting to focus on a newer keyword, then you can see some fluctuations here in the ranking position and where we're at. And so the point of this is that you want to be tracking these keywords. You want to identify what I like to call the core keywords. And so those are going to be your top 10 keywords that drive the most amount of sales, drive the most amount of traffic. And so those are the ones that you're going to work on. And as we do listing optimization and PPC advertising, we're going to do different strategies in order to improve those ranks. And by tracking the keywords, we can see how we're doing as far as the optimizations that we're making and the work that we're putting into the account. Finally, I just have this point regarding taking your pulse. The best way to do that is really to have probably weekly and monthly reporting, and that can be at the entire account level, or that could also be at the SKU level. There's many tools out there today that do a good job of taking all of the data from Amazon and then displaying that to you. You could also do this with your own Excel reports, or you could just do it based on the reporting that's available to you at Amazon. We've reviewed many of those today between the business report and the SKU analyzer. And then Amazon has also come out with some new brand analytics that you can also be taking a look at. So I want to talk about the 32 ways to improve your brand on Amazon. And I realize that there's a lot to cover here, and we're not going to be able to get into all of the details. What I'd like to do is be able to provide this presentation slide to you after the call, and then my agency will probably be building some type of special report or white paper that we can go into depth. But this can be a good place for you to start doing your own research. And so on the left-hand side, we have all of the different things that you can do to optimize your product listing, such as your titles and your bullets and your description, or maybe testing different prices, optimizing your top 7 images, or adding a video to your product page. So all of those things are included here, and those have to do with optimizing your listing. Then on the right side, we have everything to do with promoting your product. And again, we're talking about improving your brand, improving your sales. So you can do things like coupons or quantity discounts. You can also try listing a business price or a lightning deal or a 7-day deal. If you want to learn more about these things, just go ahead and you can just copy this and you can type it into Google and just say lightning deal Amazon or 7-day deal Amazon. And then you're going to be getting more information regarding those particular things. All right, so unfortunately, we do have to start wrapping this up now. And so I just want to kind of start to ease out and transition out of this educational portion and get back to real things that we can do today to move forward on our goals. So now you know why goals matter. We talked about setting goals, get clarity on your goals, especially if you're launching a new account. What are you trying to achieve? We talked about things that you can improve. If you're just getting started with selling on Amazon, you can do this from the start and you can have a really good foundation. If you've already been selling on Amazon, we covered many different things that you can look at to make improvements on. And then, we talked about where to start. So maybe you want to start with looking at those business reports and taking a look at those revenues and then choosing those particular products that you can really invest in today in order to see the return on your investment. So I want you to set your goals. I want you to audit your account and I want you to take action. It's very important that you take action on this as quickly as possible after this presentation is over so that these things stick in your mind and you can start working towards those goals immediately today. And I wanted to give an irresistible offer from Rankin Bank. So basically what we're going to do is we have some really fun information that's going to be coming out. These are going to be special reports, white papers, where we're going to dive into the entire process that Rankin Bank does for product listing optimization. And I'd like you to be able to get access to that. And so if that's something that you want, just go ahead and visit our website, rankinbank.co. And then on the homepage, scroll to the very bottom here, and there's going to be an opportunity for you to opt in for our mailing list. Now, if you join today, I'm going to see your email come up on the back end, and then we will put a tag there so that when these new special reports are available, we can send that to you right away. Finally, I just want to inform you about our upcoming workshops. So today was R for research. The next one is going to be O in optimization. And we're going to get into all the nitty-gritty details about how to actually optimize the things that we talked about today that you can improve on. So this is going to be coming up next week. And here's the particular things that we're going to be covered. Getting started with product optimization, managing your inventory after optimizing, how to analyze keywords and competitors, and setting up your product catalog for success. So I hope you would join us for that. And I'm very excited to present that material to you. The reason to attend this is to get inspired, learn information, and make connections. And finally, I just want to provide the information for you to go ahead and join. So you can find that information on SD Direct, and then you can also go directly to the Eventbrite. If you've already purchased the full package, there's nothing that you need to do. You'll be getting those emails sent to you regards to how to join the presentation and what you need to bring to be able to be ready. So with that, I just want to thank all of you for joining today. Thank you for your time. I really enjoyed putting this together for you, and I'm going to go ahead and pass this back over to Karen.
Wonderful. Thank you, James. Let's see. Do we have any additional no comments? Great information. Thank you all for joining us. Loved it. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you for that comment. And we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you, James. See you next time.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Jay. Bye-bye.